Hello, thanks for joining YouTube's #1 film commentator. I'm Vaughn Fry, and today we are watching Bad Boys for Life, resuming and wrapping up the Bad Boys saga. First film I saw when it landed on HBO. Second film saw opening weekend. This one watching on Starz. And this commentary is actually going to be on Starz also. And I'm going to have my links and special offers in the pinned comment below. I also want to tell you quickly that if you want the best flatware in all the business, not some cold press stuff, but actual forged flatware, titanium, stainless steel, get Nork. Use my promo code FRY45 at checkout at nork.net for 45% off. That's an exclusive offer for my viewers/listeners. Well, as I said, we're going to be watching this on Starz. That makes a little bit of a tricky situation here with their streaming app. They're going to have 10 seconds of this film is rated. Go ahead and get past that, okay? So you're going to be watching your Blu-ray, whatever, at 0000, right? For those of you streaming on Starz, it's 000010, okay? We are 10 seconds in on Starz, and hit play now. And you're going to be greeted with the Sony logo, which, you know, Sony's film division having really a last decade and a half has been pretty rough. And I think that now they've incorporated that logo more into the Columbia fanfare, which I thought was amazing in the first Bad Boys. Really the best the Columbia logo ever looked. And it's weird seeing a Bad Boys film where it's going to actually play the Columbia music instead of nah, 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 nah. I watch the original Bad Boys so often, I don't think you guys would really believe it. And we've got our Miami flavor music here. This is a movie that has a really tough situation where Bad Boys has a lot of years between sequels. And this one has its ups and downs. It's probably overall a better film than 2, which may have gone so far off the deep end. At the same time, it's lacking the action. It doesn't even try to compete in the action of 2. And it might arguably have less action than 1. This will be our main car chase sequence here. We have Will Smith driving the new... Oh, why do I have to get a phone call? I know it's... I'm going to put on a do not disturb here. This is a Porsche 911 4S, I believe, and... it's kind of a downgrade for Will Smith. He went from the 911 3.5 Turbo in the 95 film. 2003, he's driving the new Ferrari 575 Maranello. And it's like, okay, gradual steps up. Now we're going to the non-turbo Porsche model. Granted, this Porsche does have a turbo. It's just not designated turbo. So yeah, it's quicker than his original car. It could probably beat the Ferrari in a race, honestly. But why doesn't he have a turbo model? I think the turbo does come out a little bit later. Maybe they didn't have access to it. He could have used a GT2 from the previous year. It would have been cool. Whatever. This is not directed by Michael Bay, and that will become apparent. I feel like that the energy is just not there. The outlandishness. Maybe we're just too accustomed to some things here. Look at this chase. I know that there's some kind of gimmick to this. He's got the police telling him, "Oh, we got to hurry up." I had a feeling it was a matter of getting to the hospital in time. We said, "Hey, we're going to the hospital. We've got your turns over here." Like some things were kind of planned out. They have a police escort of sorts. We're trying to recreate a lot of shots from the first film in particular. The cool getting out of car look. We're going to have the dolling around as they're kind of standing up that we have in each of the Bad Boys films. The color palette looks a little bit different. This is not shot on film, and it gets to be quite obvious at times. This is on Sony's Cine Alta cameras. It's not cheap video. I just don't really prefer the way it looks. And this is the part where things really change for the movie for me. Because it's like, hold on, we're using the original Bad Boys theme. Which, by the way, Mark Mancina's theme and score throughout the first film is phenomenal. And it sadly goes missed for the whole second movie. It's just replaced with song, Shake Your Tail Feather. Ah, yes, we're going to see Reggie again. The date from the second film, 17 years ago. Yeah, if he's been dating her 17 years, she was in high school. I mean, pretty good age to be having a kid by now. In fact, we shouldn't be shocked by it. Why can't I find the Do Not Disturb? There we go. Also, I do want to give you a bit of warning. This is going to get a little bit, what they call it, mukbang, where you eat things, or ASMR. Because I am going to be having some chips. I got me some chips. Oh, we know we're dealing with the big bad here, the way that we cut away, huh? Interesting casting choice. This Mexican actress, Kate de Castillo, big deal in Mexico. So big, in fact, that she attracted a powerful boyfriend. And maybe she used some inspiration from him. You know, El Chapo, the guy who keeps breaking out of prison. So, of course, his girlfriend's going to be breaking out of prison, right? Shanks this guard horribly, yep. You see how this looks digital compared to the first or even the second film? The second film has an incredibly overexposed look to it. Just whites are blindingly white. This one, not so much, but the nature of these colors at times does rub me wrong. And also when night sequences, low light, it gets to be apparently digital looking. See, like, little scenes kind of look like a high-scale YouTube video and not a Bad Boys film. There is a lot of CGI blood being spilled in this movie, too. A little bit of slow motion. There's probably not enough slow motion to keep pace with if Bay made this. Now, granted, Michael Bay is a producer of the film. I think he was tied up with Six Underground. And we're being introduced to another villain. Oh, she's covered in blood. She's doing the Hannibal Lecter escape, right? Like you pretend to be the guard. Look at the height difference there. I don't think they're supposed to be 2 feet apart on height, but could they not have gotten a little closer for that shot? Like, granted, okay, he's standing at the top of the hill, so it looks awkward. Mexico City. Don't be sad for his death. Talk about how your dad was a top drug guy. We're going to get some money back. We're going to get some revenge on the people who put me away, killed your dad, all that stuff. So this guy's going to be fueled by revenge. Or so we believe. Your father hid millions before he was locked up. Here's the coordinates to find it. So, okay, just go pick up the money. You don't really need to be making deals and knocking people off to get the money. I swear no computer program works like that. Is it just deemed too boring to use regular programs in a movie? I think this also... Okay, Detective Michael Lowrey was behind the pursuit, the stuff that got this mom locked up, right? How is that possible? How is Lowrey going to get brought in this but not Burnett? That's what I'm curious about. This movie seems to forget its own time also. They talk about being partners for, what do they say, almost 25 years? But it's definitely been at least 25 years. This is 2020. The first film's 1995. And both of them, I think, were early in their respective years. So even if they just started being partners day one, it doesn't line up. See, this club, this doesn't look right to me. Miami Harbor. Oh no, our Mexican crooks, murderers, escapees, they're out here now. Really, you needed to get a gang together to crack open the money? I hire you to retrieve my money, and you want to give me the 10%? No, not happening. Oh, he pulls the Desert Eagle. I mean, what is this guy thinking? If you're going to give him that little, why don't you just start with, oh, okay, well, we found the money, now we're going to kill the guy who hired us and take it. Because it seemed to be what his intentions were. Dang, Holmes. Yeah, we know we're keeping it real over here because we got the gold chains. Looks like you guys work for me now. Come on, crack a pull queue in half. Say we're going to have tryouts. Movie's moving pretty darn fast, is it not? This is more concise than the last entry. 2.5 hours for the runtime of Bad Boys 2. This is a little over 2, I believe. I mean, I thought we already understood that he works for him now. That was the agreement. You don't need to reinstate it just now. In my dealings, I don't like having to deal with anybody with face tattoos. It's just kind of a thing. I'm doing the dirty work for you, Mom. Rest up. You just got out of prison, right? Look how weird this club looks. No place on earth has lighting that looks like this. See, when you go all digital, you have to rely on a computer trying to understand what life looks like. When you go with film, you are going with a recording, a snapshot of time as experienced by nature. And this is what happens. We also, some credit to going overboard with color correction. This actress playing Rita, I'm not too familiar with her. I believe she's Mexican as well. We go pretty hard with the Mexicans in this movie. This is Bad Boys taking it up with the Mexicans. Am I not mistaken, or is that a Sony phone that she just picked up? Sony, quite notorious for throwing their products into their movies. Now, you may be thinking, what happened to Marcus's sister, who Lowrey was dating in Bad Boys 2? Seemed to have ended the film with her. She moves to Los Angeles, where she gets to be in the cop show, LA's Finest, with Jessica Alba. I think it's been on a DirecTV network for a season, and then it's moving to Fox, or they're going to show the first season on Fox in September of 2020. So pretty soon. A lot of flack over that postponement because everybody has turned against the police in America. But it looks like they're moving forward with that. And with that in mind, this could be the last cop movie for some time that's a hit in theaters. To the best of my knowledge, this is the #1 film of 2020 thus far, and it may even end 2020 that way. The joke is that Bad Boys for Life sweeps the Oscars. You know what? Martin Lawrence doesn't look half bad in this movie. He looks like he's in better condition than he was in Bad Boys 2. He looked really bloated in Bad Boys 2. I mean, he's not nearly as thin as he was in the original Bad Boys, but also I do mention Joey Pantoliano, Joey Pants. Believe me, they call him Joey Pants. I love seeing him back as the captain who, his arc, he goes from so angry to the woosah, yoga, whatever he's doing to meditate. And now he's a little bit right in between the two in this movie. He seems to have it under control. He's the Incredible Hulk. Oh, I don't like the CGI blood here, but you know what this is? I instantly recognize the P90 because I play GoldenEye 007. Oh, the CGI blood on the shirt. Ugh. And the slow motion done with the Cine Alta camera, it doesn't actually look smooth there either. You have to wonder now if Mike Lowry's checking out of this movie. Was it a bait and switch? Because that's 3 shots. I mean, this is, I'm assuming, fatal, especially that grouping. Had to have hit something vital, right? It's not like he's at a hospital. Martin Lawrence over there was kind of making fun of Will Smith, saying, "Hey, you're getting old, man. You know, I know you're dyeing your goatee, midnight cocoa bean." And then he'll be seen here shortly, trying to keep him up in the hospital. Now, I realized that we had a kind of a faux chase at the start of the movie, but we go quite a ways without an actual legitimate action sequence in this movie, especially in relation to, say, Bad Boys 2, where it is non-stop extravaganza of carnage, a grand send-off for the action film franchises of yesteryear as the action films fell to the wayside and the superhero genre took over Hollywood. We're getting some nice emotion out of Martin Lawrence here. He really plays this movie straighter than he did the first two. Hey, he's the family guy for sure here. He's even a grandpa. Ammo headquarters. I have never seen a police unit's headquarters that looks like this. Really, you're going to let Cisco Systems get some credit on that monitor? Man, it's got to be hard to find a guy who does a hit and run. It always seems like the perfect crime to me. The drive-by. Oh, I mean, I called it hit and run. It wasn't about running him over, but come on, the drive-by shooting. How do you find out who did that? Huh? There's no way around it. I told you, Lowrey dies last. So there's got to be some kind of reasoning behind that. And that's odd that you have turning points and plot twists in a Bad Boys film. It's not something one expects from the franchise. So with that in mind, it could be said that Bad Boys for Life has the best storyline. I wouldn't say it's the funniest. I wouldn't say it has the best action. Kind of in those two categories, it doesn't seem to keep pace, and it also feels a little lacking in direction. Like, Michael, there aren't a lot of efforts to top Michael Bay here. Maybe there's some to replicate him. There is a point in the film where it seems as though Michael Bay takes back the director reins, and I'll point that out when we get there. So he's going around offing everybody on the list. It is not easy to shoot out sideways with any gun while you're on a motorcycle. That's why they always have like the little SMG or Uzi as people drive by. It's even seen in Fast and Furious. There's the Midnight Cocoa Bean. We're getting some relatively quick cuts here. It's not astonishing to get that when you have digital editing, but we're not getting all the swooping effects. I don't buy this fake out here. It says 6 months later, and you're supposed to think Will Smith eventually died, that Mike Lowrey died. Listen to the somber voice over here. Look, he's so downtrodden. He's got, and then we go to smile, and here we go. Pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Okay. Kind of took you kids a while. Been dating 17 years? Christ. And look, he's out of coma. Not quite walking. That maybe they're used to seeing him in a wheelchair, and he's going to surprise everybody and start walking. He's got to get back. He's got to get even, right? I gotta wonder if I've seen this guy Reggie before. Here is Michael Bay, and this makes no sense. It's a director cameo. He's not known for his director cameos. I have no idea what he's supposed to... Is he the DJ at the wedding? And hey, everybody, gather around. Mike Lowrey's gonna walk. There we go. Is this Will Smith at his heaviest? Now, I've got to wonder something, and I'm going to have to revisit these movies again. They keep saying, we ride together, we die together, Bad Boys for Life. They briefly sing Bad Boys in the first movie. They sing it at the end of the second movie. It's going to be brought up a few times in this film. Now everybody says Bad Boys for Life. Is everybody constantly hear Marcus and Mike say Bad Boys for Life? And I don't like the idea of having forever or for life or anything for in a third installment. Okay, one could maybe make the case that Batman Forever is the fourth Batman film. There is a 60s era Batman the movie. I think it did go into theaters. A lot of people don't seem to recognize that. But within the storyline, the franchise, Michael Go being Go or Michael Ga being Goff, him being Alfred, it's the third Batman movie. Batman Returns, Batman Forever. Why go with the 4? You don't need anything that sounds like 4 in the third entry. Captain, please, I need this. You have a lot of transitions here for the characters. Like, do you want your action heroes aging out of action, though? I mean, if we're gonna check in with the crew and it doubles the years each time this goes by, we're gonna be waiting some 35 plus years for Bad Boys 4. I mean, come on, wait! I want to meet the man who whooped Shaft's ass. That's the first movie. They're both pretty high up on the action in the second movie. Now it's, hey, it's time to be good men. Didn't I tell you? I'm retiring. What? Yeah, I was going to wait and tell you. There we go. You already retired, huh? Yeah. I told you I was retiring. You know, people get the same sense in Indiana Jones. You don't want to see Indiana Jones old. He's supposed to be a fantasy. Bulletproof Mike, I saw you ground bleeding. You're human like the rest of us. And with that human aspect of this, we've really stripped away a lot of what makes the action hero. It's kind of been deconstructed to the point where these guys are retiring, bleeding, being a grandpa. Look how ridiculous this scene looks in this house, I swear. And lighting like this does not occur. Look at Martin Lawrence's face throughout this movie. It's like he's fighting back some kind of tears. He's trying to break some truth. You know, Will Smith here too. Who do you think needed this movie more, Martin Lawrence or Will Smith? I mean, they've each had hits here and there. I think Will Smith probably, in part, did this as a favor towards Martin Lawrence, who I don't think is having a great track record of late. Same hand, Will Smith is. I mean, he's had some bombs too, right? Gemini Man, didn't that bomb? We're going to hear Bad Boys a lot in this movie. Oh, don't leave me hanging on the fist bump. No, Mike. No. Oh, no. See, I think they got their timelines really askew here. They should have set up all the stuff with Mike working undercover further back. It should have been 1992. Like, maybe we could put together a scenario where she's been locked up for this long, but we could actually believe Mike and Marcus were not partners, whereas we have seen them in action as partners in 95. Film's even shot in like December of 94. It's like shot in winter of 94. Dude spends a lot of time on his laptop, honestly. Yeah, now this doesn't make any sense. One can't instantly make a video go viral when it's uploaded if one does not have an ass ton of followers. This looks incredibly digital right here. This does not look shot on film at all. You couldn't possibly mistake it. I still have the key. Ooh, they have been together. Oh, this cannot be the same apartment as the first film, right? So without a partner, Mike Lowrey is going to have to join up with Ammo, the young kids who it's joked, oh, Ammo, it's a High School Musical boy band. Well, one of the Ammo kids is in High School Musical, Vanessa Hudgens. No idea why they went and got her. It's really a kind of a nothing role. It's like, oh, is she hard up for work and needs to just be in something that will make money? Of course, we're going to have some conflict here of, hey, I'm the old cop. This is the way we used to do stuff. What do you guys... Oh, drones, surveillance? Ah, screw that. We see a dichotomy of how they do their day. I like that cut between opening the safe and opening the microwave. We're putting on the shades. We're putting on our reading glasses rather for watching TV. I don't believe you can shift with that Porsche. I think it's an automatic PDK, as they call it. I should have looked closer. You can get a manual. So I don't think the manual was introduced though at the time they shot this. At the time they were filming, anyway. A lot of this was shot in Georgia because tax credits. When you ain't watching TV today, man. Alright, so you got this kind of like iridescent blue suit, right? Do you need a salmon lining? And Tesla Model X's can get really expensive. I saw one on, what is that show? No Whammies, Big Money, whatever. It's like almost $170,000 for a Tesla Model X prize value. DJ Khaled. This guy's lack of talent may have actually been beneficial to the movie as sort of a music supervisor. It is up to him to choose how the song's going to, the movie's going to sound, right? Because he can't actually make music, all he can do is sample and oh, hey, that was a sick beat. It may be in large part because of him that we have the onus of the original score being introduced or reused throughout this film. Yeah, there is someone, who was it? Who was credited as the music in this? It might have been Junkie XL. You have a composer, but they were probably put in a situation where they had to use the original movie's score thoroughly because of DJ Khaled. So yeah, in a way, his lack of talent pays off. You know what? He seems to be a better actor than a singer or songwriter or even producer. Like he seems fairly genuine here as he's getting abused by the cops. Yeah, I mean that makes for a bad look, doesn't it? At least it's black guys going around doing the stuff, right? He's got, and Mike Lowry's got himself a wild shirt here, all these triangles and things. Captain Conrad Howard. I don't remember seeing the Conrad before. See, doesn't this scene look a little too restrained compared to how this would have been shot if you're imagining it through the eye of Bad Boys 2? We're just going to have a simple shot reverse shot in an office? We can't do that. Dude, I want to get booked into Miami-Dade Police Precinct over here. This looks nicer than any hotel I've been to. I am pretty sure Joey Pants is bald. Has hair in all 3 Bad Boys movies. That's why I like teamwork. Oh, come on. He needs a basketball? Really? I don't like this thing where you constantly have this guy ribbing Detective Lowrey, who I'm sure outranks this kid. Gets away with it. I mean, this would not be Starfleet protocol. Oh yeah, we got some cool stuff here. Check out this tanker truck, SWAT car. Oh, we're going in this graffitied up looking, I don't know, transportation. All right, we know who we're looking for. We got the gun supplier. Oh, it's always got to be something traceable, right? Oh, you were shot with exotic bullets that can only come from this place. Sure, okay. And you think they were sold recently? Is that what they were just sold, huh? Relaxation Marcus. You know, Marcus had a son also who I think goes unseen throughout this movie. Like, we just totally forgot about the kid. I mean, he was told to go upstairs to his room like Judy Winslow. Oh, we're having a laugh now. Oh, wait, we're seeing a drone? Oh, this ain't a real cop work, huh? Since when did drones get quiet? Quiet enough that they could spin around and within 20 feet of people without them noticing? They took some auspiciously good photography booking those guys in. No one looks that well lit in a mugshot ever. And Lowrey, being the veteran here, is going to spot something. Oh, he's handing the bag of money, but it's light. Huh? It's fake. They're set up. There, look. Goes charging in, grabs a bulletproof vest. There's no way there wouldn't be helmets and more in here. We are over 40 minutes in, and we're getting our first shootout in a Bad Boys movie. Okay, we had some gunplay in spurts, but not real shoot. It's not a shootout, it's not an action sequence until now. In the ways that kind of confirmed my suspicions for this movie, I thought, well, there's no way it's going to have as much or more action than Bad Boys 2. I just didn't see it happening, especially once I saw Michael Bay was not directing. All right, now we got some good slow motion. I like how shooting the paint can has decorated the scenery here. That's kind of cool. Oh no, she takes lives too. A little High School Musical girl. Heck, I have to look up. She's probably 30 by now. You're going to tell a guy to put down his gun in the middle of a gunfight? Kind of needs to keep himself armed and help you guys out, doesn't he? Don't worry, I'm on my last chip. Crunch. Mike Lowrey still got it. But would young Mike have shot this guy and avoided killing the witness he needed? All right, chips are gone. You guys can rest easy. Look, the Rita, is she a detective, or was it lieutenant or something? Or what is the hierarchy with the police? Obviously, captain, commissioner, slash sheriff, slash constable. They're top. Ooh, we're gonna use a Windows tablet? What are we doing, guys? Sony, come on. Oh, that's right. Sony sold Vio, so they could care less. Getting into his telenovelas. You know, when I saw the poster and you've got Martin Lawrence wearing the like Letterman's jacket, it seems to be, though red, it seems to be in reference to Lethal Weapon 2, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Beverly Hills Cop 2 and 3. I think Axel Foley uses the Letterman's jacket. It does not have it in the first film. Yeah, everybody thinks of Axel Foley in the Letterman's jacket. And Martin Riggs has one in Lethal Weapon 2, that it. You get a good line here in the trailer. I said consult, it said observe. Look at this mess, it's carnage. You didn't shoot me? Oh, come on, Captain, you know I shot some people. These subtitles having a real tough struggle here, keeping up. Man, just the dressing down in front of everybody, the odd bickering thing. It doesn't seem like professional cop work, but the Bad Boys was not like that originally, right? It wasn't all about addressing everybody sir and following protocol and sitting down and filling out reports. You have your big guy here who's all meek. Excuse me, sir, we're going to have a backstory for him. He was a bouncer. He killed a guy in an accident. One punch killed him. Yeah, he's that tough. Then we're going to give him some kind of redemption quality out of it. Never seen iPhone in this movie. Of course, it was. There was some publicized story on how Apple forbids bad guys from having iPhones in their movies. The villain, you see a bunch of characters saying around everyone, who did it? The guy that don't have the iPhone. We're going to take the Nissan. Is that a Versa? He said Prius. I thought this was a Nissan. Oh no, we got a baby here. We can't be going take a baby to the stakeout. Murder investigation, whatever. You drop him off at the spa. I would have to wonder how an audience reacts to some of the stuff here. I think you could get pretty good laughs out of these things. Dropping the kid off. Mike Lowrey. Yeah, that is a Nissan. Is that a Nissan Quest or a Versa? I can't tell. Everything's getting to be so close to looking the same size anymore. I thought they might have got rid of the Quest too, but it ain't no Prius. I'll tell you that. I'm just gonna sneak in over here and drop off a baby and run. Do 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 do. Oh hell no, no. It was my spa day. I was promised a spa day, right? Yeah, now he mentions the Ferrari. Doesn't have a Ferrari here. And you know, we don't get to have a high-end car in a chase or a big shootout chase combo in this movie. Yeah, that's a van. That's got to be a Nissan Quest, right? Why would you call that a Prius in your lines? Doesn't make sense. I think this is the extent of girls in bikinis that we'll be seeing in this movie. That markedly sexed down this entry in the series. Bam! Body falls. You think someone's throwing a safer piano out a window? How does that fall down and we have all these people not that too concerned? I mean, look, okay, some old people casually walking by, they turn their head. All the young people don't want to get a picture for Instagram? Serious? That's a Sony phone right there. Sony Ericsson's phone, right? Man, that is a could kill you fall right there. Marcus has found religion to another aspect to his character that kind of has its moments in this movie. You know, like he prayed for Mike to recover. He did, so now he can't go around killing. He can't do bad. Can't do the violence. Well, we're gonna get ourselves a little bit of parkour here. I think they may have digitally added or some way altered in Will Smith's face onto the stunt guy for that. It looks pretty decent though, and that was a nice little tumble. Oh, not much of an effort to tackle this guy. Come on. And here we go. The signature shot of the Bad Boys franchise. Stand up. Oh no, we have crunched the car. I'm thinking big laugh from the audience in the theater, right? Teresa gonna kill me. I'm guessing those are not cheap homes. You gotta put a bullet in this guy, but you gotta say some lines first. Need him to suffer. There are a lot of B-roll montages in this movie. Some of it doing the sped up thing. Sometimes kind of at the helicopter shot, but it could be drone anymore these days, some of the stuff. Oh, what do you know? I got Captain Howard here. He's got a Sony camera on him. These A7s, let me tell you, they take some good video. Some of the top visual looking in-studio shows you see on YouTube, A7 cameras. I don't think we've seen the captain in his downtime before, not on the force, like we do in this movie. Okay, some cryptic horse story. Is it possible that Captain Howard has his most lines in this movie? I mean, he certainly had some moments yelling at some people here and there, but there's a you get a good amount of Joey pants, and then he's going to be taken from us. And this I did not see coming. Okay, you expect him to give some talk. It's not like you had some quiet character who all of a sudden is giving their big speech before they get killed by the shark, a la Sam Jackson, right? This just really out of nowhere stuff right here. Boom, in the neck. I am like jaw drop. Like, huh? What? And then I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's pretty bad. Surely he'll survive, right? Come on, it's the captain. Come on, he's got to survive this. Oh, really? You can help? You're a referee. No innocence. Oh, so you're okay with offing a couple of EMS guys that were escorting your mom, thinking that she was dying? They would just put her in the hospital. Then she could escape from there without a whole scene, right? Without killing people. Yeah, I thought maybe it grazed him. Okay, now you see this blood, and it's like, oh damn, you're really doing this to me, Bad Boys for Life. Now we get an actual funeral. And you know what? You think about it in the trajectory of something like Rocky. You go a few movies, people start dying, don't they? Rocky 3, that's where you lose your first trainer. Rocky 4, you lose the next trainer. Who else we got in the lineup here? A whole ammo crew. And because of this, you want to get something out of a character's death like that. So the Captain Dine gets Marcus back into the action. I can't let Mike do this alone, right? I gotta go get the guy who took out Captain Howard. Need the okay from Teresa. Very digital terrorist shot again. I saw a lot of these ostensibly digital shots in the trailer, and it really had me questioning the film. All right, I'm back. Can you unretire from being a cop so simply? And then you see that Captain was a target. You didn't see him in the dossier. I mean, we're kind of getting our use out of the Porsche for not getting the use out of it, right? Like, I kind of question it. You know what? That chrome trim around the door, I'm not really liking that. Around the windows, not liking that on that Porsche. All right, we're just gonna talk to a guy. That's what we've been bad boys. It's time to be good men. There we go. More trailer lines. Who the hell gonna sing that song? Now, if you're a cop and you got the badge on the necklace, the lanyard type badge, do you have multiple badges so you can pull one out of a wallet and all these other places, or do you only get one badge? If you're a cop, comment in the comments below. This guy gives them a whole lot of stink in this apartment, right? But look, they're restrained. I mean, come on, they broke into his place. They aren't going to start blasting. This guy seems to have knocked down a wall in the apartment to expand. I'm going to appeal to him. Yeah, okay, sure. This guy who kind of looks like poor man's John Goodman. In the face, and that was not a good punch at all. That was the wrist wasn't aligned with the arm. It was pretty sloppy. I think in Bad Boys 2, this scene, a similar one, roughing up the what was it, the Rastafarian Jamaican whatever guy. He had like a little shop and they're like breaking all the stuff inside. Had a lot more music playing about in it. All right, you try your thing. Look at this. The guy's ceiling fan even has lights missing. Like, art direction had a little bit of fun with this place, didn't they? The remix. I don't like transitions in film, the transition edit having a sound effect. You saw some of that in Bad Boys 2. It didn't happen in the original Bad Boys. Who doesn't want to kill him? That'd be something wrong with somebody who doesn't want to kill him, right? We're going to go through his film role here. See who he's been mingling with lately. Maybe Zuelo. Now, is that a name a kid would have? I used to coach in Pee Wee Hoops. He was going by Zuelo back then, even. He was our star player. You're telling me this little guy was your star player in hoops? Shitty team. Just so happens he has a birthday today, and he's going to be celebrating at clubs. We're going to keep a look on who's what, check the club records, see if any parties have been booked. Yeah, of course, a 20-something drug running criminal is going to have a party at a club in Miami, right? He can't be doing something quiet at home. I don't like this rubber bullet pellet stuff. Yeah, you get a laugh out of the trailer. No, never, right? I think that now we're hearing the is it Inner Circle Bad Boys? I think that with the the original version plays in each of the Bad Boys films. Oh, getting a little shown up here as there is a Lamborghini. I think it was that a Huracan. Oh, hey, it's the ammo leader. Ooh, kind of a golden dress thing going with the Spanx. Oh, I like how Will Smith's lines getting in the club backfire him. He's aged out of the club. His sort of like ball busting underling here over at Ammo is able to get in. He knows the club scene. He's smooth, whatever. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have to let my old friends in. Oh hell no, we ain't doing it like that, right? This is not a good club scene. Okay, on the surface, you have the numbers, you have activities going on, there's some music, okay, right? Pales in comparison to Club Hell from the first movie. Not nearly the over the top dynamicism of the club in Bad Boys 2, with underage girls dancing in bikinis in a waterfall. Megan Fox. The camera swooping through the vents and up to the ownership. Vanessa Hudgens, sort of a, I don't know, bikini lingerie cocktail waitress thing. Look at this. This is like B-roll crew took a dance video. Like, not in keeping. Also, I prefer the music in the first Bad Boys Club. Yeah, KMFDM, you got Stabbing Westward. And again, everybody overhearing their conversation, kind of similar to what happens in the electronics store, Bad Boys 2, and they want to look at a videotape, and they leave some electronics on and broadcast like getting shot in the butt, but everybody else thinks it's something else. Now you get the faux pas. Oh, you can't have the gay joke, right? Unfortunately, hot ammo leader over here has attracted some attention that is distracting. I wonder if Will Smith had some transgressions with this lady. Oh, the obnoxious horn. No. That was not a thing in 2003 in the last Bad Boys installment. You got to pay a premium to get the bottle service booth, right? How much does this raised platform couch set you back for the night? Oh, snap. Dude gonna be dying on his birthday too. Will Smith gets some action scenes in it. Martin Lawrence not so much, really. Okay, so we have a Corvette sitting there. We're not going to use it. Instead, we're going to take... this is a Hemi Jeep. I don't think it's a Hellcat powered. I don't think it's a Trackhawk. I could be wrong. It's a Hemi, but I don't believe it's a Trackhawk. It can get up and go. Like, I'm not doubting that. This is really our only chase sequence in the movie. There's a fun, unnecessary use of cops and Porsche 911 early with some stunt driving, but we're gonna have a scene here, and it sort of segues into a motorcycle sidecar version. We could call it one big chase. Yeah, let's talk it out. We want to do the non-violent thing here. God gave me a favor. I gave him this in return, right? That's what we're doing. You can see a blurriness in these shots as things speed up in low light, and it doesn't set that well with me, honestly. Protect. Yeah, and you're going to have to serve him some butt kicking here. Rubber bullet in the back. Crash. Oh, really? You got him in the head? It looked like it was the back, didn't it? But he hit his head later. Now, I don't know what this is about Martin Lawrence needing to touch this bubble on the guy's noggin. Ooh. What, are you getting in that Dr. Pimple Popper? Oh, you know these guys have got to be Latino gang here because they got these skull helmets, right? That De Los Morta inspiration. Of course, the notoriety of Mexico's cartels has really picked up. I'm surprised we don't have more of a storyline in that regard. It could be any group's revenge tale. It's kind of what we got. I'm over here for rubber bullets, dirt bike, skull helmets. Do something. Hooray! Here comes ammo. Oh, that was not the best grenade toss from Hudgens. It so downward trajectory. It threw it into the ground. Would not have cleared home plate. All right, how wild is this sidecar? I've got to wonder if anything like this actually exists. As you're about to see this motorcycle sidecar does something of a Transformers maneuver, becoming a weapon. Mike Lowrey here is going to have to try to talk Marcus into doing some violence for God here. Yeah. We're going to get biblical, right? Probably not easier to shoot doing the wheelie. And look at this, just kind of found some way to transform the sidecar into gun. I mean, this is an okay chase, but in the first film, we got like a $20 million budget and we're doing a lot with it. Look at how fuzzy this looks over here. They're not actually doing this stuff. This is all kind of like put in together in post composite. We got more Dodge making a scene here, though I wouldn't product placement my car getting blown up willingly. Okay, so they got some good jumps in there, but this is not the first chase in Bad Boys 2. It's not the second chase with the cadavers. It's not the third chase with the Hummer. Oh, we're going to whip out some slow motion here, and Yeah, okay. I mean, there's some okay crashes, but it really takes me out whenever I see this blurriness that comes with this being shot digitally. So many bridges in the chases and Bad Boys. You got to wonder how many bridges there be in Miami, right? Is it just like a series of bridges? I like seeing the actual helicopter. That's nice. You don't get a lot of actual helicopter, but you're also going to get a fair amount of CGI helicopter in this too. And does this guy need to rescue Zuelo? That's what I'm wondering about. Does it serve his interest to rescue him? Because we'll see that he has a change of mind pretty soon. Have gone out of his way. Smash into those water barrels. I have to wonder how frequently they refill those water barrels. They gotta evaporate, right? A nice little explosion jump move right here. I don't like Lowry's jacket. It's a little tacky. It's like gold tiger dragon motif going. I don't care for it. Get out of the way. What? Oh, you took too long to get out of the way. I'll just shoot you anyways. Not Zuelo. It was his birthday. Hasta el fuego. Huh? I know those words. Now, Will Smith had said it earlier, so you think that it's a message specific to him that he knows something here. But you don't know what. That will be revealed to us. At no point in any of the previous two Bad Boys did you get a story that unfolded this way. They were always so incredibly straightforward. There was no secretive anything going. We knew right ahead who was doing what. And we tried to manage comedic aspects of the film along with action, and not so much concern for the story. Especially the first movie, they had that identity body swap thing going where Mike Lowrey is kind of shoved to the side, and you do get Martin Lawrence first billing there. He was a bigger draw at the time. He had some movies. Will Smith was just getting started. But Martin Lawrence had to pretend to be Will Smith for a bit. You know, Marcus was going by Mike Lowrey, had to stay at Mike's apartment with the witness. Oh, we're getting chewed out now. Where did they recover his phone from? They have... Because didn't Zuelo die? Did they find his body in the water someplace? Or was he not over the water? Was his phone not on him? Maybe dropped it in the Hemi Jeep? By the way, the V8 Jeeps are also a Hemi. They just don't have the Hemi badge. I know because I have one. Got a Overland Trail Rated. It's kind of one of the rare types going. With the kind of midnight cocoa bean looking interior brown. And the dark brown, almost black. It looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, I got the message. And it's going to say, hello, Mike. Right? Haven't seen that face in a while. Now, that's how she looks booked in, right? So they're just getting some older pictures of the actor. Look at that, 11/11/95. It don't make no sense. These guys were already a team. You guys were a duo at that time already. You'd already accomplished the first movie together. Hola, Mike. There we go. I thought it was hello, but whatever. We're shut down. Does that mean everybody gets transferred to traffic duty? And the way that they're shut down, I don't know how they could have possibly orchestrated the maneuver they pull going into Mexico, as we'll see. Okay, maybe a cop, a guy who's sort of retired could do some stuff, but you sending the whole unit down there? Oh, well, we're going to coordinate with what, DEA, and say that we're off books. Okay, well, what? So what are your superiors back in Miami got to say about this? I mean, at least when they went over to where did they go? Colombia. In the second film, the captain looked the other way so they could all take time off with the whole SWAT unit and go. All these people were influential in bringing down this cartel, all this stuff he's selling. Yeah, it was before we were partners. Yeah, like, no, it wasn't. I wasn't even going by my name. I was Ricky Rollins. He did, Mike. Undercover as her driver. And she's the one who got me style. Now, what was Undercover Mike like before that, huh? Had not noticed how misaligned Will Smith's teeth are this whole time. Big time movie star, you're gonna be walking around with teeth like that? Come on, straighten that up. And this witch thing, I don't think they get the most traction out of it. She starts chanting some stuff to the guard, and it kind of like the guard gets scared, then stabs her. I mean, I don't think that should be that effective, but maybe it's effective because she's a witch. Woo. Mike. Yeah. Now it explains why you dress like a drug dealer, because the drug dealer taught you. Stretching a bit. Yeah, you have permission to stretch, guys. We made up this phrase, hasta el fuego. Kind of just ain't even real Spanish. Just some stuff we'd say to each other. He knows the phrase. I think he's my son. And she spends a good deal of the movie kind of like looking off. Yes, excellent. Just as planned, right? It's ruthless like me, yep. You're already the crazy version of you, Mike. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I think they say "I love you, man" in each of these movies. Imagine if they would have gone with that title, "I love you, man." Instead, it's a Paul Rudd movie. Huh? What was that about? Don't think we really needed her walking. This is like a callback shot here. We had the Porsche going across the bridge at the beginning of the first Bad Boys film. Quite similar to that. You know what you got to do. You got to go to Mexico City. You got to take the fight to them. So you got to get on a plane. Now, throughout my viewing of the film, I was thinking, oh man, we're not going to have the Miami sign introduced in the 1995 Bad Boys film. A second sign commission built for Bad Boys 2. People constantly go questioning, looking for the sign, the famous Miami sign that doesn't actually exist, made for a movie, kind of a mock-up type play on the Hollywood sign. Tourists actually go looking for the Miami sign. I think they have him sitting in some airport. And lo and behold, as this plane takes off, we will see the Miami sign. And I was thinking, looks very similar. It may even be the original movie's Miami sign. It's not the same shot of a plane going over it. So I don't think that they repurposed the footage from the first movie and just inserted it here, but actually may have shot a new plane going overhead or digitally added it. I mean, that's quite the possibility too, right? But it's good to see the Miami sign. We got everything we need in a Bad Boys film here. I like actually having a remix of the original score. It's not better. It's not an improvement. It's not the same thing, though. I think that when I see a sequel, I can either want or expect or need to have the original movie's theme or music or a new version of it. When you didn't get that in Bad Boys 2, I felt a bit depleted in the theater. Like, oh man, too bad they didn't have the Bad Boys song. Yeah, I would about bet that was the original. What they probably did with that Miami sign, the original footage, not have the plane go overhead, but insert a different plane digitally would be the Hollywood 2020 way of doing that. I would about bet on it. How long is that plane ride? Mexico City, Miami. It can't be that long. We know we're in Mexico City because we have a giant flag. I think that's the biggest country flag hoisted. She looks young there. Will Smith does not look like 1995 Will Smith in that photo. Mexico City. I don't think we needed the titles so much. I thought we kind of got an idea of what we were doing, but okay. Oh, you know you're in Mexico City because look at these kids playing soccer in dirt. I mean, these aren't two white guys. They're black guys walking around. Are they going to draw as much attention as what we're seeing? You can't call them gringo, can you? All right, we got some contacts here. All right, you guys set us up with some munitions. We got to take care of some business, right? Mike, Marcus, okay, here we go. But here's the thing, they don't even need these people. They just dropped a bunch of money on nothing because Ammo shows up with plenty of gear, like a second later. It's Rita and the Ammo Kids. And how they managed to work this throwaway line, yeah, the DEA says that we're gonna work with them, but if we get caught, we have no affiliation, blah. But they're gonna get all the credit if we pull this off. Okay, yeah. So it's a no lose situation for them. I don't think your superiors in Miami are gonna okay this. We probably actually needed a scene of somebody coming in and have to be consulted. Actually, that would have given us a scene without Mike or Marcus, and would have been kind of seen as cuttable in a Bad Boys film, I'm sure. All right, putting our differences aside with the fist bump. All right, Gramps, let me show you how the drone works. I would be willing to bet that... well, actually, no, I wouldn't. Because Vanessa Hudgens surely shot some guns in Sucker Punch, right? Probably nothing since then. That was 2011. I don't like those sudden cuts to black. It just seems kind of lazy. I don't have a way to get us out of the scene, but here we go. From this point forward, that cut black forward, the rest of this act in Mexico feels like a Michael Bay movie. As though Michael Bay found in his schedule some time to get this together. You're going to see that this shootout goes much more over the top compared to what we've seen before. Now look, the contrast is different. It's like the movie has a different, more Bad Boys 2 look about it in this area. I gotta wonder, does this place have the the black moss? Man, I was just talking about it the other day. Green mold, not black moss, green mold. I thought she was wanting a hug at first. She put her arms up like that. Oh, it's been so long. Ain't you gonna give me a hug? I'm gonna kill her myself. You're not dating yet. Come on. Or you were, but not now. So why would you care? Fated to meet one more time, eh? Doesn't the lighting in here seem more Michael Bay-esque? Oh, come on. She snatches the necklace and you lose all the comms and they're jamming. Okay. You didn't tell me I had a son. She's not denying it. Remember, so much of that killing, it was like, respect the pops. I'm doing it for you, Dad. Even though we never met. Uh-oh. Red body signatures all over the place. It just said cursing in Spanish there in the subtitles. Oh, it was kind of a daytime, clear looking sky, suddenly lightning and dark, right? How long have we had our little chat? He ain't kidding. It was a lack of communication. A whole big misunderstanding. We could have stopped all this movie if the gal said who her son's dad actually was, right? We got CGI drone coming up out of the flames, and we're going to get some CGI flame action in here, yes. Do you think you could be in the middle of a gunfight and have to fly the drone while being a target? It was a good toss. It was a horrible effort to catch. That's what it was. Now, look, he says, oh, it's like HD. You know, HD was not a common phrase in 2003 in the second film, but now HD is old. Now, oh, hey, it's like 4K. That's what he should have said. Oh, I see some CGI flame there from those guns. We're going to drop the... Yeah, there we go. Oh, boy. Yeah, you drop some stained glass on you, that could be a problem. Rafe, Dorn, Kelly. Are these first names? Hey, we think alike. Yeah, we'd be a good team. Okay, got it. Realistically, they would have, I think, been more well appointed with the protection. Would have had the helmets, right? You put helmets on people in these movies, and it makes it very difficult to discern who is who. Look no further than Black Hawk Down. Well, you ain't gonna be taking those stairs. Now look at this. Come on, this is so Michael Bay. Hey, why don't we just turn the camera sideways? Did she need to slide and hit him with the assault rifle? The way the camera is moving in this reminds me of a shootout they had in Bad Boys 2, where they were panning and dolly tracking all throughout that house with what the Rastafarian looking dudes. Ended up seeing a guy in the mirror shoot through the part of the wall to take him out, right? Now that looks kind of fragile enough. I'll just tackle this. All right, now, did mom and son get on the helicopter yet? I guess not. Because they seem to have disappeared. They're not on the helicopter, but they're also not shooting at Mike and Marcus. Yeah, we're getting a bit more CGI flame action here than one would want. Obvious composite work right there. Yeah, they're not climbing out of some building on fire. All right, we're still on the balcony. How could he have pulled him from under there? Because you look at the fall, he would have had to have jumped up like a slam dunk and then reached through the crevice to pull the ankle. Marcus takes a lot of slashes here too, man. Poor guy. And I don't know how well you can effectively cut someone up with broken glass because you yourself are holding broken glass. Oh, I'm so tough. I'm going to punch through the fire. Yeah, there we go. Choke him out. But hey, I got to tell you something. We look in the mirror here. I see a lot of me and you. See, we both kind of rock that goatee type thing. Yeah, that's it. All right, I want to tell you something. We got to establish our lines of communication here. Armando, you're my son. That makes you my father, right? Like, No, I don't want him to know. It's all really her vengeance if you think about it, because she builds Armando to be the assassin, to be the muscle. If he knows that his dad's a cop and not the bad guy, maybe he doesn't go down this path. Doesn't get her out of prison, right? Yeah, I like the shot here. We're rotating between the two of them as they're talking on the ground. But then we kind of flip that around. Yeah. It cuts back to Mike being at the bottom of the screen when it shouldn't have been. Because we left off with Marcus at the bottom, but then Mike gets dragged away. I'm going to throw you in the CGI fire pit. Last chance. Who are you? He's kind of said. Oh, why are you asking who are you? You knew the guy was the cop, all this stuff. You had the dossier, all this stuff. Now you're asking who is he? Is it true what he says? It doesn't matter. He's nothing to you. Oh, well, that's a yes. Marcus with the concerns of, hey, can we just get out of this building right now? Tell the truth. Is he my father? Yes. Okay, finally. Jeez. Oh, now she's going to shoot. She was aiming for Mike. Come on, give her some credit. I shot my only boy. Oh, Rita to the rescue. Not the best villain fall. At all. I guess she was impaled on part of helicopter cockpit. Now look, okay, Marcus is falling. All right, you're slipping. I'm going to grab you. No. Okay, I need some help. I'm falling too. No traction up here in the Mexican tile. Oh, but they're a little isolated from the fire. Armando, who was not doing so good from that gunshot, right? Will kind of spring in action and help. And there we go, lift. Okay, so let's not call him a good guy just yet. He killed a lot of innocent people. He killed Captain Howard. Come on. All right, we're getting our way out of the house. What's that gold mylar blanket type thing going to be doing? After all the stuff you've done, but I'll be there for you, right? Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, I'm gonna be in jail for a while, but at least I have a dad now. I'm your Uncle Marcus. But we'll talk about that later. Yeah, you could get a laugh for that in theaters. And we're back in the Miami groove. Congratulations, Rita. So she's going to be the new captain. And you know, it's quite refreshing. We didn't get a speech about women are better than men for X reason. You got to send a woman to do a man's job. None of that. You don't have any of that in this movie. start therapy. We could have a group sesh together. Okay, that's super cool. Yeah, all right. And then no one wants to do that. So she can't be captain and the leader of ammo, right? So what does that do? Is that they're going to put Mike Lowrey in charge of ammo? Does Marcus stay retired? If you want to retire, he already had retired. I'm not going to stop you. But there is a bit of an effort to tease a Bad Boys 4. Though one could think it could be without Martin Lawrence, which wouldn't seem to make a lot of sense. It's like continuing Lethal Weapon, but Murtaugh's definitely retired and out of the way, right? Quality Time. Remember Quality Time from the first movie? Yep. I can't be too upset for callbacks within a franchise. I mean, in some ways it's necessary to tie things together, isn't it? I'd kind of like to know where the hell his son is. You remember the one with, Dad, they're making fun of my ears at school. Oh no, Mike's gonna get the baby bug. Yeah, we'll sing a lullaby. Bad Boys. That's what we're gonna do. Isn't it when they come for you, not when we come for you? And we got the theme again, and it's like, huh, okay. A little weird that we got the title shot twice, the same one, beginning and ending of the movie. I don't mind it up front, but anymore it seems like you don't get any opening sequence for titles. You just get the shot at the end, which I like. I like the stuff up front. It sets the tone for the film. May have opportunity to pay off some of that debt. You interested? This is very much a Suicide Squad type proposition here. Can you get a fourth Bad Boys film together? Well, if you have the biggest hit of 2020, maybe, but can you have a cop movie do well now? That is a question. So there you guys go. Oh, wait. What are we doing back on a plane here? Yeah, so why would they put in a kind of like a weird deleted scene? It's not necessarily a blooper or a series of bloopers. It just seems kind of messed up. Anyway, that's Bad Boys for Life. What are your thoughts on the film? I think that it's kind of strange how there's films where, okay, they get right what the first one got wrong, but they got wrong what the first one got right. Each of the Bad Boys films seems to have a different strength, and that's kind of remarkable. They certainly have a lot of time to put effort into the story. 17 years. Though, like I said, one's not expecting there to be a good story. This actually had a fairly good story about it. I would give Bad Boys for Life 3 out of 4 stars. Not so sure what the next commentary will be, but subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I'm sure you'll be aware. Till next time, adios.